My name is Jonathan Goforth, and today I'm going to explain why I got into real estate. And so, first you should know that I got licensed 23 years ago. I've been doing this a long time. And when you look at the success I'm at now, we should put this in perspective. And let's go back to the beginning and explain why I got in and what happened in my real estate career, my first 2 and 3 and 4 years. So, when I got into real estate, I had a job, like almost all of us have other jobs that we come from. It's been interesting over the last 23 years for me to look at everyone else because nobody really seeks out real estate as their career. We all just kind of end up here. It's a last resort. We come here because something else didn't go well. So the job I had, so I graduated from college. I had a degree in business in marketing, business and marketing, with an emphasis in sales. And so, which means you're probably not going to get a great job. My jobs were typically sales. I didn't need a college degree to get the jobs that I had, but I had a college degree. And so this led to some frustration, job to job. I was on my third sales type job, my career, that I thought would become my next career. And some of the things that I noticed in these sales jobs I had. First, I'm working really hard. I'm working all the time. I'm working really hard. If I want to succeed, then I need to make my boss look good, my manager. So all the work that I'm doing, they're going to take credit for. And I'm catching on. This is happening job after job, no matter where I work. If I have a really good year in a sales environment, corporate sales, and I hit my quarterly goals and I hit my yearly goal, then, which was great, I'm going to get big bonuses. I'm going to get big commissions. The next year, they're going to raise my goal. The quotas I need to fill, they're going to make it harder for me to hit it again the next year. So the next year, I had to work even harder. And there's a time at that point I'm not hitting my goals. The company I'm working for has financial problems. And so some of my coworkers are already leaving. They're finding other jobs. At that point in my career, I am not happy with corporate sales anymore. That's the whole corporate world. I don't want a corporate job anymore. I don't want a job where I can be laid off, where I can be let go or fired, where corporate world is so restrictive. If I'm a little bit late, which I'm never late. I was never, ever late. But if you are late, you get chewed out. If you want to go have lunch with a friend, you'd better be back really fast or, you're going to get chewed out or you got to, get right back on the phone. There's no flexibility in the corporate world. These are the things that led me to real estate. So while my job is starting to fail, I went to a career night in real estate. One of the big brokers in town. I went there 23 years ago. And I heard the sales pitch and I was all in. Unlimited income, flexibility, you can control your own future. Everything I wanted to hear, everything I ever wanted in life, I am hearing at this real estate career night. And plus, I'd already been thinking about this, obviously, because I'm there. All these real estate agents out there, they seem to just make a lot of money. Have you noticed that? And it looks glamorous. They all have their signs in people's yards. They get attention. And it did look glamorous. And I was attracted to that. The unlimited income, the possibility of tax deductions, they can set their own schedule. It looked like the perfect job. And to be honest, it looks like most real estate agents don't work very hard. That's my perception. And that's why I want to get into real estate. So I still have my job. So what I started doing, I started taking real estate classes at night. And I forget how many weeks it took back then, but I'm doing that 2 or 3 nights a week. Then during the day, you buy the big book. And so I got the book. I'm driving somewhere for lunch hour while I still have my job. I'm studying, then I'm going to real estate classes at night, and then I'm ready to take the test. By the way, if you're thinking about getting into real estate, make sure you take the pre-exam class right before you go take the test. They're going to go over test questions, and then you go take the test, and you're probably going to pass with flying colors. And so I passed. I have a real estate license, and now I really don't know what to do. And that's the story. That's my story. That takes me up to how almost all of us are. You get licensed in real estate. You don't really learn anything in real estate classes as to how to become a successful realtor. You're just licensed. So now I don't really know what to do. I kind of know what to do, but I don't know how to do it. There's not a lot of training. The training it's just not there. And that's why, and even today, that's why we see the turnover rate of all these other people getting into real estate. Most realtors quit in their first 2 years. They just don't make it. There's a lot of reasons why. So my first year in real estate, guess how much I sold? Nothing. I sold nothing. It was horrible. My second year in real estate, months passed, and I finally sold a house. And my broker called me in her office, closed the door, and she suggested that maybe this was not the career for me. Maybe I needed to go back into the corporate world, because this is what my dad is telling me. Now back then, I'm in my 20s, and I lived at home, and thank goodness I lived at home, because I'm not selling anything. I have no income at all. And my dad's saying, you need to get your resume out there, get a job with benefits, and this real estate thing is clearly not working. So, but I am working it. So there are some things that I should have done faster, and I'll put those on future videos. So by the way, if you like my videos, please click subscribe, and please turn on your notifications bell. It's down there next to the word subscribe. I'm going to put out a lot of training videos on what to do, the nuts and bolts of exactly what you should do as a newer agent to speed this up, to get you selling houses faster and make you more profitable. But why I got into real estate is why most of us get in. It's a last resort. Something didn't work right somewhere else, and here we are. Back then, there just wasn't a lot of training in the offices. I kind of knew what to do, but I didn't know how to do it. I knew, the big secret to real estate: the more people who know you sell houses, the more houses you're going to sell. And I struggled with that. And so it was hard to get my name out there. There was no social media at all. We didn't even have iPhones. There was no texting. We wore pagers, and that's how the office contacted us. And so, yes, I was frustrated. The second year, I sold one house after a few months. Now, my broker had basically called me in the office at that point and suggested that I go work for a different brokerage because I wasn't selling anything, and possibly even get out of real estate altogether. And so I told her, I promise I will work a lot harder. I'm going to put more into this. But I was falling into the turnover, the huge percentage of new realtors who quit in their first 2 years. And I am falling into this quickly. And I'm spending money though. I'm doing mailings. I'm doing everything. I'm doing open houses. I'm doing what I need to do, but it just hasn't clicked yet. So I didn't quit. I continued. I knew it would work because I see it work in other agents back then. So the other thing I had going for me is I didn't want to go back into the corporate world. I couldn't do it. This was what I needed to make it work. I needed to make real estate work. So I developed an attitude that I'm going to do this or I'm going to die trying. I'm going to put everything I have into it. My dad, I was living at home. My dad really suggested I quit, suggested I get my resume out there, I get a job with benefits. And so, yes, I'm frustrated. But here's what happened. My third year started taking off. It got pretty decent. My 4th year, so I am working it all the time. I am working my circle of influence. I put together a database of names during my 1st year. Probably the end of my 1st year, I put together a database of names finally. And that's primarily what I started really working. So my 4th year got really good. So I got licensed in 1997. By the time we hit 2006, I was the top listing agent in my office. And it's a big office. So I'm listing more homes than anybody else. I did that again in 2010 and 2011. I'm selling a lot of houses by then. By the time we hit, gosh, right in there, I'd probably been my 4th or 5th year. I am now making over $100,000 a year back then. And at this point, looking back, I've made over $100,000 for a long time. Way over that now. So my first 18 years, I was an individual agent, not on a team. I never joined somebody else's team. I did it all by myself. I never had a buyer's agent. I never had anybody helping me. Never had a transaction coordinator. I did it all by myself. But the exciting part is, at that point, I'm working a lot of hours. And I think my first 2 years were so bad, it has always kept it in perspective that I am grateful for working so many hours now, because I remember how horrible it was in the very beginning, and it has really made me more grateful now for when the phone rings. I'm always excited. So my career got really good during that. Now, I wrote it up and I wrote it down twice during this. Right now we're in the coronavirus outbreak, which I promise you this will pass. This is not a crisis caused by the housing market. And it's kind of funny, in the meantime, we've developed into the best seller's market ever. But we had the World Trade Center in 2001. That lasted about a year and a half. The market was thriving again after that. 2003, 2004, 5, and 6, and the market peaked in 2006. That was the year that I was the top listing agent in my whole office. Then 2007, it started coming down, and it's on its way down quickly. And then 2008 and 9 and 10, market has crashed, and the housing market has crashed, and it took years to recover from that. During that horrible market, I am still selling a lot of houses, making over $100,000 a year, and significantly more over the last 2 or 3 years. But that's why I got into real estate. And it's sad now that nobody just on purpose gets into real estate as their career choice. We all kind of try something else, and then when it doesn't work, we kind of resort to real estate as kind of a last option. And that's what I did. But it has been the best thing I've ever done. It has created a lifestyle for us. We live in our dream home. It's just phenomenal, the flexibility it gives, the unlimited income potential. It truly is. If you want to make $200,000 a year, you can totally do that. If you want to make $300,000 a year, you can totally do that. I've never seen anything like it. You can sleep in, just plan your schedule for late morning, early afternoon, and night. You're going to work lots of evenings and weekends, which I love. It still fits around my family schedule because I make it fit. It is the best career ever. But that's why I got into real estate. So that's kind of my story. So if you like my video, please click subscribe. I am doing lots and lots of YouTube videos. And I just kind of started my YouTube channel 3 months ago. But at this point in my career, I have sold by myself hundreds and hundreds of houses. Now I do have a team. There's 10 of us on my team. I put the team together over the last 4 years. They have also sold lots and lots of houses. If you like my videos, please click subscribe. Please turn on your notifications bell just down there right next to the word subscribe. I don't have a lot of YouTube videos yet, but I'm going to start making a lot more because I love to teach about real estate. I love to train people on real estate. I've done a lot of things that didn't work. I've done a lot of things that did work. And that's what's led me to have hundreds of sales already under my belt. So thanks for watching. See you later.